Have you ever wondered why people behave so differently, even when facing the same situations? Some naturally step forward and lead. Others drift into dreams and deep thoughts, while some dedicate themselves to caring for others. Carl Jung, one of the great thinkers of the 20th century, used the word archetypes to describe these hidden patterns within us. They are not simply labels or categories. They are ancient psychological blueprints, stories that live in the human mind. Archetypes shape the way we think, how we relate to people, and the choices we make, often without realizing it. Today, I want to guide you through 5 of the most influential archetypes. And as you listen, I invite you to reflect on yourself. Ask, which one feels closest to me? And please, share in the comments, because when people share their stories, we begin to see how these archetypes live differently in each of us. Archetype 1, the hero. The hero is the fighter, the one who always rises to the challenge. Life for the hero is a series of mountains to climb and battles to face. They live with an inner drive that whispers, "I will prove myself. I will overcome." Think of people you know who never give up. They stumble, they fall, but they rise again. They refuse to let defeat define them. Strength, courage, and resilience are their guiding lights. But there is a hidden side to the hero, because while constant striving brings growth, it can also become exhausting. The hero often hides vulnerability, fearing that admitting weakness would mean losing. They may keep running forward, even when their body and heart beg for rest. So let me ask you, do you see yourself in the hero? Have you ever kept pushing forward when it might have been wiser to ask for help? If this speaks to you, share in the comments, because when people share their stories, we begin to see how these archetypes live differently in each of us. Archetype 2, the sage. The sage is the seeker of truth. Knowledge is their compass, and wisdom is their destination. This is the person who asks questions others overlook, who reads, researches, reflects, and digs beneath the surface. Maybe you know someone who always has a book in their hand, who loves philosophy, history, or science. Or perhaps you've noticed that you yourself often pause and wonder, what does this really mean? What is the bigger picture? The gift of the sage is clarity. They remind us that knowledge can guide us away from illusion. Yet their shadow side is paralysis through analysis. Instead of acting, the sage may lose themselves in endless thinking, delaying decisions and watching life pass by. Have you noticed this in yourself? Do you sometimes get stuck in the world of ideas, hesitant to take the leap into action? If so, write it down below. The balance between thinking and doing is a lesson many of us struggle with. Archetype 3, the creator. The creator lives to bring forth something new. This is the archetype of innovation, imagination, and artistry. Creators are not limited to painters or musicians. They can be entrepreneurs, problem solvers, or anyone who sees possibilities where others see obstacles. They thrive on inspiration, on the joy of giving form to what was once only an idea. But with this gift comes a shadow. Creators often judge themselves harshly. They may feel that nothing they produce is good enough, that their ideas fall short of perfection. And so they may abandon projects or hide their talents out of fear of failure. Now think about yourself. Do you feel that spark of creativity inside you? What do you do that makes you feel alive, inspired, connected to something greater? Share it in the comments. It could be painting, writing, cooking, building, or even the way you solve everyday problems. Inspiration takes many forms, and your story may encourage someone else to embrace their own creativity. Archetype 4, the caregiver. The caregiver lives through compassion. For them, the happiness and safety of others is central. They are the friends who listen, the parents who sacrifice, the partners who carry burdens quietly. Their heart feels deeply, and they notice the pain of others even when no one speaks it aloud. This is a beautiful gift. A world without caregivers would be a cold and lonely place. But even this light has its shadow. Caregivers often neglect themselves. They pour so much energy into helping others that they forget their own needs. Eventually, they may feel drained, unappreciated, or even resentful. I want you to think carefully. Do you recognize this pattern in yourself? Do you sometimes give more than you can afford, emotionally or physically? If you do, write about it below. Sharing your story might help you and others realize that caring for yourself is not selfish, it is necessary, because only then can you truly care for others. Archetype 5, the Rebel. The rebel is the breaker of chains. They challenge authority, resist restrictions, and carve their own path. Where others see rules, the rebel sees walls to climb. Where others accept tradition, the rebel asks, why should it be this way? Rebels are innovators, pioneers, and voices of change. They show us new possibilities, often at personal cost. But the rebel also has a darker side. When rebellion becomes an end in itself, it can destroy without replacing, leaving emptiness where there could have been growth. Now I ask you, do you carry the spirit of the rebel? Have you ever gone against the current, not because it was easy, but because you felt it was right? Or do you prefer the stability of rules and structures? Both paths have wisdom. Share your thoughts in the comments. This is where real conversation begins. The bigger picture. So far, we have explored 5 archetypes: the hero, the sage, the creator, the caregiver, and the rebel. What is important to understand is that these are not boxes to lock yourself into. Each of us carries parts of all 5, yet 1 or 2 may speak louder within us, shaping our lives in visible ways. Recognizing your archetype is not about limiting yourself. It is about understanding your strengths, your challenges, and the hidden stories you live by. With that knowledge, you can make better choices. Choices that align with who you truly are. Questions for you. Now I want to leave you with a reflection. Which archetype feels closest to your heart? Do you see yourself in the hero who fights? In the sage who searches? In the creator who builds? In the caregiver who heals? Or in the rebel who breaks chains? Or perhaps you see yourself in several. That is completely natural. We are complex beings, and different parts of us awaken in different stages of life. Please write your thoughts in the comments. Tell us not only which archetype you feel, but also why. Share a moment from your life when you notice this pattern at work. If many of you share, together we can create a map of archetypes in the comment section, a living reminder that we are all united by these timeless patterns. Closing words. Archetypes are not destiny. They are guides. They are mirrors reflecting pieces of your inner world. By becoming aware of them, you take the first step towards living more consciously, more intentionally, and more authentically. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this video spoke to you, please subscribe, leave a like, and share it with someone who might be searching for answers. Because perhaps right now someone close to you is quietly wondering, who am I really? And maybe this conversation is exactly the beginning they need.